When the temperature drops and grass pitches turn from green pastures of heaven to muddy fields of chaos, a lot of players take their game indoors or to the streets. And with street football becoming more and more popular, the brands have made sure to develop some great footwear for harder surfaces. Some of the most popular shoes out there for street and indoor use all have an X in their name, because they're the Nike MercurialX Proximo, the Nike HypervenomX Proximo, and the adidas X Primeknit Court. And they all have something different to offer. But to find out which of the shoes have got the most street coolness, I'm gonna let you guys decide, because I'm gonna snap a picture of each of them and see which gets the most screenshots while we film this episode. But now, it's time to hit the court. All of the shoes are actually made with the same uppers as seen on their on-pitch brothers, just with a street sole slapped underneath instead of studs. And thus the tech is roughly the same, with the MercurialX and the X Primeknit boasting knitted uppers with a thin silicone layer on top to keep your feet dry. The HypervenomX also features Flyknit, mixing it seamlessly with a Nike skin mesh upper, and also slapping some Nike grind rubber on top to prolong the durability. And they do feel really similar to their FG brothers, with the Hypervenoms offering a really good solid lockdown, but with a slightly stiffer upper than the other two shoes. The MercurialX, on the other hand, has got this thin sock-like free sensation, and the same thing actually goes for the Primeknits, only with a more loose, padded and solid sensation than the MercurialX. Of course, the Nike shoes are gonna feel more sock-like than the Primeknit because of obviously the height, but also because of the fact that you are more aware of the fact that there's material around your ankle. But actually, all three shoes have a pretty smooth transition from boot to foot, which is pretty good. Now, all three shoes are protected against the weather thanks to Nike's ACC and Adidas' liquid silicone coating on the Primeknit. The most important thing on the streets and indoors is traction, because without traction, you're gonna fall over and look pretty stupid. And you can't really use FG, AG, or God forbid SG studs. So both Nike and Adidas slapped a rubber outsole on their shoes. And to generalize a little bit, it's only the layout of the rubber sole that's different. But does it even matter as long as there's grip? To be honest, not really. Not to me at least. The grip is definitely there, especially indoors. And on the streets, the Nike perhaps have a tad bit more grip than the Primeknit, but it's actually all good in the hood. What does matter though is the cushioning, where the Nike FootballX shoes have a bit more than the Primeknit and are thus more comfortable, but the Primeknit then again are more low cut, which means that it's closer to the ground. Because of the fact that all the shoes are basically boots that have been Frankensteined into what they are, they also feel pretty football bootish on the ball, or they actually feel exactly like their boot brothers, only with the Nike shoes having ever so slightly more grip because of the Nike grind layer. If you're a precision dribble aficionado, then the MercurialX's are the right ones for you, with a really close, almost barefoot-like touch on the ball. The HypervenomX's kind of sit in the middle with a precise yet slightly dampened touch on the ball with more grip on the ball than the other two, whereas the Primeknits feel really soft, almost pillowy and dampened on the ball. But street football is not all about scoring goals or making panas. To a lot of people, it's also about freestyle. Now, despite me being a pretty good upcoming freestyle master, I think it's perhaps better to ask one of the best in the world how the shoes do at freestyle. So PWG, which of the three shoes are best for freestyle?
Well, after trying all the three shoes, I would say the Primeknits. Basically because of the wide toe box, the flat sole and the tech fit color, which is really comfortable.
What about the Nike Proximos then?
Well, the Proximos got the sock, right? And I know it's intended for street football and street soccer, but for freestyle, the sock might be in the way.
What about the touch on the Primeknits then? Any good?
Touch is really good. It's soft, it's cushioned, and it's slightly upspooned, so it's really, really good for lower freestylers.
So, are you saying that they're that good that if you had a broad choice, you'd still go with them?
For lower freestyle, yeah, absolutely.
So, PWG approved?
PWG approved.
So which shoe will give you the most street cred then? Well, I think the Mercurials kinda already knew it won when it dressed in gold, cause Snapchat has spoken and named it the coolest looking street shoe by far. Is it the best? For me, not really. That award actually goes to the Primeknit because of the comfort, so you can basically wear it all day. And don't we all want to be ready to go and rock the court whenever there's a ball and your feet starts to itch? Do I really need to answer that?